And I remember watching this video from Father Mike Schmitz, who, everybody loves. And I think it was like Seek or something, one of those conferences. And he was talking about the Eucharist and like how if you want Jesus, like if you want him physically there, like how can you not be a part of the Catholic Church? Like if you believe in the Eucharist, like how can you not join the church? That's the only church that, takes it that way, that takes it that seriously. And that was a big kind of hit for me. But I was still like, I don't know, like there was still a lot, especially about Mary. I think Mary was always a big thing for me that I just couldn't wrap my brain around. Anyways, but going on from that, so that was like when I was, I think 17, somewhere around there. And then I think it was like 2022. And then I'm trying to think, I think 2023 was the next time that I had like a big moment, because that was when a lot of my guy friends all of a sudden were talking about Exodus 90. And they're talking about like cold showers and all this weird stuff. And I was like, what's going on? And so then they explained to me like, oh, it's this fast, like this Catholic fast. And it sounded really cool. And I remember at the time, I think it was like right in January. And so, you have all your resolutions for January. I was like, I just want to do a fast. Like, that'd be awesome. That'd be epic. And I remember thinking it'd be cool if there was a girls version to this, right? And it was funny because two of my friends in my company at Praise His Name with Dancing, they were doing the girls version. They were doing Fiat 90. And so they had mentioned it and I was like, no way, like there actually is a girls version of this. I was like, could I like do this with you guys even though I'm not Catholic? And they were like, oh yeah, totally. Like just join us. Like, and they had meetings, they had Fiat 90 meetings. And so they gave me the times and whatever. And so I started showing up to those and doing Fiat 90. And what's really cool about Fiat 90 is it's meant to help like girls grow in certain Marian characteristics, right? And to bring girls closer to Jesus through Mary. And I didn't realize that at the time, but that was like a whole like thing. And
you got trapped.
Yeah, okay. Seriously. Really, I was just totally blindsided. But anyways, I started asking like all these questions I had about adoration and about the Mass and about all of that during Fiat 90 meetings. And again, everyone had so much patience. I don't know how, but it was really cool and it was wonderful. And what was so amazing about it was seeing my friends not view their Catholic faith as a chore. I think that was something that I always thought about the Catholic faith is it's all this work. Like all they believe is they have to be good enough. They have to make the mark, right? And seeing them saying, no, like this is a gift that brings us closer to Jesus. Like we love doing this because this is how we experience the fullness of his goodness and his grace. And that was just kind of a moment of, wow, okay, like, okay, I can get down with this. And I remember asking, I think my friend, I think it was Caitlin, I don't know if you know Caitlin Eby, she's awesome, but I asked her and I was like, hey, so like, why do you believe this stuff about Mary? Like, how is this relevant to your life? And she said, it brings me closer to Jesus. Like, and if it brings you closer to Jesus, why would you not want it? And that was something that really struck me because, yeah, I mean, if it's going to bring me closer to Jesus, of course I want it. But at the same time, I had my preference and my like way I thought was the right way to worship God. So I was like, okay, like, yeah, but I can't truly believe this yet. Yeah. And so, yeah, I had my preference of worshiping God in my mind, I guess. And I went about it with that. And I finished up Fiat 90. My friend was awesome. She would send me novenas to pray. She would send me the Surrender novena. And I was like, okay, this is actually kind of cool. And I would pray that. I remember during praying that, I really was like, okay, God, like if there's a way that you want me to surrender my mindset towards Catholicism or anything of that sort, just like show me, like give me some type of sign, like help me to get over this pride or whatever it is that I have towards, or like fear, I guess. I think it was also fear in a way, because I was like afraid to venture into like whatever it was. And so anyways, Fiat 90 ends and I am really confused at that point, because I was like, I've heard all this great stuff about Catholicism and like I really want to enter into it. I love how these people are worshiping God. I love their reverence, and that's something that I was missing in the Protestant church. But like, again, just Mary and just like, even just, I think there was also a lot of just fear of what my certain friends and certain family people would think. Like, what would they say about, their friends joining Catholicism who had like again, there's a lot of persecution against the Catholic faith, which is what I was also realizing during that time. A lot of people like just downplaying it and saying terrible things about it. And that was also something that kind of drew me to it, because I was like, okay, where there's persecution, a lot of times you find Jesus. And that was something that, yeah, just it made me question it more. And so anyways, my one friend who I had met at Praise's Name as well, but she had left the company by that time, but we had stayed in touch. She started to invite me. She was like, hey, like, you should come and you should worship Jesus with me under the crucifix. Like, just come on Thursday nights and we'll go to the altar and just worship him together, because she wanted to like really show me just how welcoming the church was, and just how like you can worship Jesus there. Like, it's a place, it's a sacred place, you can be there. And so I started to go there on Thursday nights after dance. So I'd be like all sweaty in my dance clothes. And she would, normally I'd enter in through the chapel, and so she'd be in adoration, and I was like, where is it going? And then we would go into the sanctuary, or like the actual, I think you call it the sanctuary, right? Okay. And we would go up to the altar. We would just sit down and we would just worship under the crucifix. And she would sometimes bring her guitar in, and sometimes we would like sing songs like that. Sometimes we would just sing off of our iPhones. And it was so beautiful. And I just remember feeling so much peace and so at home.